Have you ever thought, why didn't anyone warn me about this? Have you had digestive issues, hormone chaos, and random right side pain and wondered, is this normal? Or maybe your gallbladder is already gone, and now you're asking, what happens next? How do I get back to feeling normal? Or has it been so long since you felt normal that you're not even sure what that feels like anymore? Today, we're diving into the early warning signs. Yes, those prodromal signs and symptoms nobody talks about and how they're still trying to tell you something. Also, what it looks like when things go full blown haywire. And most importantly, how to actually feel better than before with some wisdom and understanding. So grab your lemon water, settle in, and get ready to reclaim your digestion, your energy, your sanity, your hormones, because you deserve the whole story before it's too late. Let's go.
Gallbladder gone. Now what? Let's heal from the inside out.
Welcome to GallBladder Gone? Now what? The podcast for Christian women navigating life after gallbladder removal. Hosted by Jami McQuivey, holistic nutritionist, wife, boy mum, grandma, and a firm believer in God's design for lasting health. Did you know that over 1.2 million Americans have their gallbladders removed every year, and that the majority of them are women? Even more eye-opening is that all gallbladder issues are digestive issues. And poor digestion is at the root of up to 80% of all disease, including hormone imbalances and weight struggles. While Jami isn't a doctor and this podcast isn't medical advice, she shares real solutions rooted in research, experience, and God's Word. Let's get practical, biblical, and real, one step at a time.
Thank you, and welcome back to Gallbladder Gone. Now what? So, what is going on? The scripture that I really stuck out to me this week that I wanted to share with you was in Hosea 4, verse 6. It says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." I cannot tell you how many people I have talked to that would have made different decisions, myself included, had I had some knowledge, some wisdom. So that is the whole goal of this podcast, is to give people the wisdom and the knowledge I wish I had. And so you can get back to feeling good and doing what the Lord has called you to do. So the first thing I want to talk about quickly is this normal versus common. Whenever I'm working with clients, this is one of the things I bring up. So many of us, there's so much illness going around. There's so much discomfort. There's so much of this confusion going around that we've started to look at it as though it's normal. Pain is normal. Discomfort is normal. Low immune system is normal. And I want to tell you, it's not normal. It is not the way God designed our bodies to feel sick and to feel tired and to feel confused. It is common. Absolutely. There are people out there, there's so many people out there right now who are suffering. So it's become common, but I want to assure you that this is not normal. I even especially talk about this in my hormone class, that having PMS or these raging headaches or all of these things before your period is not normal. It's common. And we go through what the normal and common signs are there too. So the same thing is with digestion. We should not be having gas, bloating, burping, and we'll get into some of those. They are common, but they're not normal. And so as we move through, we're going to talk about the 3 things they don't tell us until it's too late for our gallbladders, but it's not too late for you. So the first thing I want to talk about is that Ayurveda and Western medicine has a similar perspective. The thing I love about Ayurveda is that they really look at your symptoms seriously. I don't know about you, but when I went to the doctors the first 100 times, I wasn't taken seriously. I would tell them how tired I was. Oh, that's normal. You're a new mom. I would tell them how I wasn't sleeping. Oh, that's normal. I would tell them how the gas and bloating and my stomach hurt. Well, just then don't eat those things. And it was just this they just made it seem like it was normal. But years later now, I understand how common these were. So the first things that they don't tell you until it's too late is all the symptoms leading up to disease. And we're going to be talking specifically about gallbladder disease. I want you to think about symptoms. A lot of people want to suppress symptoms, but symptoms are the only way that our body can communicate to us that something is wrong. So we don't actually want to quiet the symptom. We want to listen to the symptom and then give the body what it needs so it doesn't need to talk to us in that way anymore. So we call these beginning signs prodromal. And so these are, I'll just read through the list and I'll read through it a little slowly. And I want you to think about yourself or family, loved ones, friends that have considered these things now normal, and then how different things would look if they knew it was common but not normal and something that we can work on. All right, so the first couple are gas and bloating, occasional heartburn, occasional constipation, looser stools, headaches, nausea, stomach discomfort, abdominal discomfort, chest discomfort, and breathing concerns. So those are just the beginning signs. Those are when it's saying, hey, something is not right. And I know many people, and especially for me, as I was starting this, like these were everyday things. These weren't occasional constipation. It was chronic constipation. It was headaches a lot, gas and bloating all the time. So had I known that these were warning signs, early warning signs, I would have done things differently. I would have changed things. But, we can't look backwards, we only look forwards. But these symptoms, even when we have our gallbladder removed and they say, okay, everything's okay, you have your gallbladder removed, go on with your life. Many of us have still experienced this gas and bloating, heartburn, constipation, diarrhea, headaches, nausea after we're eating, stomach discomfort. I mean, it really didn't fix the problem. We just took out the pain sensor. So many of us aren't still having, those gallbladder attacks, but even some of us still had the attacks, which I did, and which was really confusing for me. So we need to take these seriously. The second thing they didn't tell us about the symptoms of a full-blown disorder. So many of us had to live with these symptoms I'm about to read for years before getting any answers. So some of the full-blown symptoms are pale stools as a result of fat in the stools. So I remember I was living in Iowa and I went to the bathroom and I looked in the toilet and it was almost white. Like it was very, very light colored. And I remember this because it was shocking to me. And I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know. I mean, I knew that it was not normal, but I didn't know what it meant. The next one is fatty stools due to difficulty breaking down the fat. I remember also looking in the toilet and I'd have this oil sheen on top of the water, even when I peed. Is that I was not digesting any of my fats and they were coming out through my urine and through bowel movements. Blood sugar concerns. My blood sugar was up and down and I could get really hangry and I'd get tired. Another one of a full-blown disorder is stomach and abdominal distension and bloating. Sometimes I would look like I was pregnant. And I've seen on Instagram and these social medias where girls are showing this and it's like, I don't know what to do. And then people will give them 1,000 suggestions. And I'm telling you, 990 of them are not right, or at least not in the order that things need to happen. And so there's a lot of misinformation going on out there. Chest discomfort and chronic belching. Oh my gosh, I could belch with the rest of them. Like um, I actually had made myself a boba tea the other day and put too much fat in it and didn't prepare myself. And so I started getting stomach distension and I was belching. And now I know what to do for that. So I went and I fixed it. But so many people don't. And this is what we want to be fixing is getting you back to feeling and there's going to be things like that I didn't realize. And so I won't make it the same way, or I'll prepare my body more and beforehand. All right, another one is, and so the two things that fall in both the prodromal and the full-blown disorders is that breathing disorder. So anytime there's breathing concerns, we really want to take them seriously. Okay, so now we know what the early signs are, right? And I want to put in here fatigue. When you're eating and you have to take a nap after you eat, that means that your body is taking all of its energy and putting it towards digestion. Now, digestion is already hugely energy consuming. It can be up to 70%. But when you start to get that 70%, you're starting to want to take naps. Think about Thanksgiving dinner, right? And you eat this huge meal, everyone wants to take a nap afterwards. And they blame it like on the turkey with the tryptophan, but it's actually you're eating so much and there's so much fat in it. And there's lots of things going on in those meals and combinations that your body's like, yeah, I'm checking out. I'm going to sleep. Well, I'm going to put all my energy towards digesting right now. And so we need these are things again that too many people think, oh, I need to go out and exercise more. Well, we all need to be exercising, yes, but we need to be addressing these issues. All right, so there's the three things they don't tell us about the gallbladder is that we need to do once it is gone is one, every day. And even this is stuff to even do before if your gallbladder's struggling or your digestion is struggling, is support bile flow. And this matters because your gallbladder was your bile manager. So it was in charge of storing and concentrating and releasing bile when it was needed. So without it, bile just drips weekly from the liver 24/7. Okay, well, we can live healthily and happily without a gallbladder, but not by default. We actually have to do things. This is one of the things I explain to a lot of my students and clients as well. When you take out an organ, there was a purpose for that organ. So now we have to do the role of the organ. So, for example, again, very common for people to get their tonsils out, even at a young age. I got my tonsils out during my whole sick phase. I was 25 years old and got my tonsils out. Well, those are a major lymph node. So it's very hard for the lymph to drain from the head into the rest of the body. So every day I do a lymph massage around my neck, and behind my ears. And that helps keep things moving because I don't have the major lymph node right there, and I need to do its job. So the same thing happens with the gallbladder. If we don't have a gallbladder, then we need to start helping the body do. It's almost like you need a 20-man crew to do a project. You take one man out, you need to, put someone else in there. We need to distribute the work. We need to help with the process. So we need it. So by the bile just dripping, it becomes inefficient. And so what do we do? I would like you to consider adding bile salts or ox bile and bitters to when you eat. And I have a link to my favorite bile and bitters in the show notes. And I also have um, the first podcast that I did, podcast number 1, also has a lot of information and links. I have lots of links, so make sure to go there. The second thing that we need to do is break down fats with enzymes. I didn't do this for many, many years. And so I was like, why? The bile helped me feel so much better, right? But I still was lacking. When I realized that I needed help with enzymes, this is why it matters. Because with that big blast of bile, fatty meals can still cause bloating and loose stools, or it can just sit in your gut like a rock. And it is super uncomfortable. And so if we add enzymes, and I like to add, I have again a link in my in the show notes, as well as information to wonderful a combination of enzymes. So I like to have, lipase, which is for the fats, and then protease, amylase, cellulase. I like to get them all because we all need help. Because about age 30, we stop producing the amount of enzymes we really need. And so we start to, at that point, go into deficit. And so it's nice to have that support. All right. And especially we're wanting to take the lipase, which is the fat digesting enzyme, when we have meals that include oil or nuts or seeds, and just kind of start small and see how your body responds. And I'm telling you, those three things are in my store on Fullscript. And so you can go look. I'm putting everything in one place. Doesn't mean you have to buy everything, but at least you know where it is. And if ever I find better products, I'll just put them in there so no one has to worry about going out and doing their own research, because this is what I do and love doing. All right. The third thing that we need to do is fix the problem. So many of us think that getting the gallbladder out fixed the problem. What it did is it took the pain sensor away. It didn't fix the problem. It's a digestive problem. And this is where my 7 principles to heal digestion comes in, where we go through specifically how to heal digestion. So if you're ready to stop outsourcing your health to someone who doesn't really listen and start rebuilding with someone who gets it, I'd invite you into my DIY course, 7 Principles to Heal Digestion, Manage Weight, and Balance Hormones. So this isn't just a health class, it's a step-by-step roadmap that will help you feel heard, supported, confident in your body. So before I go on, I want to go over the 3 things that they didn't tell us. And that is, 1, that there are prodromal symptoms, and that those symptoms we still need to be watching for. Number 2, that there are full-blown disorders. So really be watching for these ones. And 3 is that we can fix it. We can heal our bodies. We can get our lives back. All right. So with this program, you get over 20 hours of practical faith-filled teachings, tools to start using from the get-go, why it's important so you understand, and how to implement it into your life. It's really cool too, because it comes where you can put it on an app on your phone if you're an iOS user, and you can watch, you go right there and there's the PDFs, the videos, the outlines, all of the things you have right at your fingertips. However, also, if you are craving community and real-time support, then come join my free Facebook group. It's like group therapy, but less crying and more breakthroughs. All of these links are in the bio. And so if you didn't have time to take notes, don't worry, I got you. I have created a place where you can get the notes for most, if not all, of my podcasts, and I will be adding extra perks over there. So make sure to sign up, and that's in that Teachable app. See you next time in episode 10, when we talk about the 5 ways the gallbladder removal or gallbladder problems affect your hormones and what to do. See you then.
If this episode encouraged you or offered practical insight, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Leaving a review, subscribing, and sharing with even one friend helps more people discover this message, and Jami is truly grateful for your support. Be sure to check the show notes for free downloads, helpful resources, and a link to join Jami's private Facebook group for extra support and community that blends practical health with biblical truth. Just a reminder, Jami isn't a doctor, so always consult your healthcare provider before making changes to your health plan.